Good afternoon and welcome to Africa Today. I am Aidnan Lubem. First, the headlines. On the headlines, Reps hails Department of State Services. Also on the headlines, Ghana's president urges Africa to stop begging. Many dead as flood hits Congo's capital, Kinshasa. On sports, CAF introduced VAR to under-17, under-20, under-23 inter-club competitions. And now the news in detail. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has said Nigerian youth are its promise for a better future, and solving their problems is the priority of the government. Speaking in Washington, D.C., while welcoming the Secretary General of the Abu Dhabi Forum, Sheikh Al-Mufdah bin Bayan, and his deputy, Pastor Bob Roberts of the U.S., who paid him a visit, President Buhari said the work of the foundation in promoting multi-faith dialogue was as important to the world as it was to Nigeria. He also spoke about the need to raise generations of youth devoid of religious extremism and bigotry, urging the group to continue to target the young people who are the promise of the future. The Foundation Secretary General said they had come to inform the President and invite him to attend the conferment upon him the Abu Dhabi's Foundation's award in recognition of his outstanding achievements in promoting peace and security. They said the conferment was in line with the Foundation's work in fighting religious extremism and promoting peaceful coexistence and dialogue amongst all religions. The House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence has commended the Department of State Services, that is DSS, for the fight against crime through an effective intelligence service. The chairman of the committee, Honorable Shaban Sharada, gave the commendation when he led members of the committee to an oversight function at the DSS headquarters in Abuja, the nation's capital. The lawmaker also said crime has reduced in the country because of the DSS stakeholders' input approach in delivering its statutory mandate. He also commended the Director General of DSS, Yusuf Bichi, for working to transform the service to attain prominence in protecting Nigerians. Also speaking, Adejoro Adeogun, Deputy Chairman of the committee, said his colleagues have had a good relationship with the DSS because of Bichi. The Director General of the DSS said the organization will continue to spend its budgetary allocation judiciously. The lawmakers were then conducted around the DSS facility by the DSS spokesperson, Peter Afunaya. And now to health matters. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has announced the arrest of importers, distributors of fake food products following a raid on a warehouse in Akpongbon area of Lagos Island, Lagos State, and Boundary Street in Aba in Abia State. The raids that held on December 7 and 9, 2022 were part of NAFDAC's efforts to curb the menace of importation, sale and distribution of counterfeit regulated products, and ensuring that only safe quality and efficacious products are imported, manufactured, distributed, sold and used by the Nigerian populace. Acting Director General of NAFDAC, Monica Nmunjeze, made the announcement during a media briefing at the agency's Central Laboratory Complex Auditorium in Oshodi, Lagos State. She said NAFDAC officers raided a warehouse containing potassium bromate tablets and an unregistered imported EDC 2000 bread improver, as well as arrested the importer, Rapulochukwu Joseph.
Those that are using these banned products in making approved products, they will face the full extent of the law. We have lab tests that we can carry out to see whether bromate is in the mixture or not. We have regulatory processes in place. We encourage people to do the needful and make sure you subject yourself to the necessary regulatory processes.
Further called on the general public to join in the watch for injurious products anywhere in the country and report same or any suspected unwholesome product to the nearest NAFDAC office. The arrested suspects, however, denied knowing they were fake products.
For baking material, I've been in business for 6 years now. So it's someone that gave me the market. So I don't know that the thing is very dangerous like this. So that's why I said the product.
I saw it and bought it like that and somebody sent it from Dubai. And it was sent like this. And it was bought through the group page. The when the goods comes, different goods, cosmetic, you took your own and pay that's how it happened. Unfortunately, they say somebody has the same NAFDAC number.
When we return, news from other parts of West Africa. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now to news from other parts of West Africa. Beginning with Ghana, where the President Nana Akufo-Addo has said African countries must wean themselves off begging the West to earn global respect and change poor perceptions about the continent.
And in this spectacular building, so admired by all Ghanaians, and indeed by all Africans, as it was designed by one of the foremost architects of his generation, the globally acclaimed Ghanaian architect, David Adjaye.
He made the remarks during the opening of the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit in Washington, D.C. Akufo urged greater solidarity among Africans to address shared aspirations.
Then we find ourselves outside the continent, and we discovered that to the outside world, there are no Ghanaians, there are no Senegalese, and there are no Tanzanians. There are only Africans, and we are all simply Africans. The lesson for me is clear. Our destinies are intricately linked with each other, and we're talking not only about those of us on the continent, but about the Africans in the diaspora as well.
The president said that the continent had skills and manpower, but needed concerted political will to make Africa work. Akufo-Addo's remarks came on the day that the International Monetary Fund agreed to give Ghana a $3 billion, that is 2.4 billion pounds loan to alleviate an unprecedented economic downturn in the West African country. Dozens of African leaders are in Washington to discuss cooperation with the U.S. amid growing Chinese and Russian influence on the continent. The United Nations Migration Agency that could lead to his removal from office. In the previous week, he secured the renewed backing of the ANC, which holds 230 of the National Assembly's 400 seats, after mounting a legal bid to have damned the report annulled. Over 55 people have been killed and dozens injured on Tuesday, December 13, by widespread flood and landslide caused by heavy rains in Congo's capital, Kinshasa. Kinshasa's 24 neighborhoods were affected, according to local officials. Reports show that some 12 million people live in Congolese city, many of whom now grieve loved ones. In addition to the submerging houses, the torrential rains ruined many roads. Nigeria contributed 67%, while Ghana 10% to global yam output. However, Ghana remains the second highest world exporter of yam for over 10 years and the highest in West Africa, with 94% to annual export contribution. The PAMSEC expressed optimism that Nigeria could earn 6 times more than Ghana based on Nigeria's production capacity. In a related development, Nigeria's import from Russia has crashed significantly, hitting its lowest this year as the war in Ukraine persists. The foreign trade reports, according to the National Bureau of Statistics for the third quarter of 2022, released last week, show that only 1.71 trillion naira worth of goods was imported from Russia in the quarter. This was a decline of 92.17% from the 21.84 billion naira imports recorded in the second quarter. Nigeria's 2 major imports from Russia over the years have been wheat and fish. This year, Nigeria has imported various types of fish from Russia, as Nigeria is yet to import durum wheat from the country, unlike previous years. It was observed that the total imports from Russia hit 21.84 billion naira in quarter 2 of 2022, a massive increase from 8.98 billion naira in quarter 1 of the same year. The initial increase was against the production of Nigeria's imports and may be at risk due to the war in Ukraine. Still to come on Africa Today is sports news. Stay with us.
Good afternoon and welcome to Sport News on Africa Today. I am Richard Badum. Nigeria's national men's hockey team has qualified to the inaugural International Hockey Federation Hockey Fives World Cup in Oman 2024 despite an 8-6 narrow loss to host Egypt in their fourth game of the African qualifiers, which began on Sunday. The team had earlier on Tuesday played out a 4-4 draw against Southern African Zambia in a morning game, with the results giving them the edge over group opponents as they placed second behind Egypt. Nigeria will once again square up against the Egyptians in the final match on Thursday, as they will observe their rest on Wednesday after 2 days of grueling involvement in the game of hockey. Meanwhile, Nigeria's John Peter currently leads the scorers chart with 11 goals ahead of Egypt's El Ghanaini Ahmed, who has 9, and another Nigerian, Solomon Dennis, who clinched 7 goals so far. Morocco will be without the services of team captain Romain Saïss ahead of the semi-final game against France later tonight. Saïss wasn't here as he was taken off the field on a stretcher 13 minutes into the Atlas Lions 1-0 victory over Portugal on Saturday. The former Wolves defender is still suffering from pain in the posterior thigh muscle and is likely to be ruled out of the game. However, Naif Akrad and Nasai Mazwari could be cleared to make the matchday squad against France. The two players missed the quarter-final game against Portugal due to injury. Meanwhile, Morocco became the first African country to reach the semi-final of the FIFA World Cup. The Atlas Lions will be against France when the two teams face off at the Al Bayat Stadium later tonight. Still talking sports, Africa Soccer ruling body has applied for the use of video assistant referee, otherwise known as VAR, to all underage as well as inter-club competitions taking place in 2023. Nigeria's Golden Eaglets and Flying Eagles are among the teams that will take part in the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, that is AFCON, in Algeria and Egypt respectively. The Olympic Eagles are in the final round of the qualifier and will face Junior Salai Stars of Guinea, while Rivers United will participate in the group stage of the Confederations Cup. The football body announced on Tuesday that VAR will be present in the venues of the underage tournament, while it will be introduced to the interclub competition from the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals of the interclub competitions will commence in April and run till June, while AFCON Under 23 will be from the 24th of June to the 8th of July 2023. And that's your sport news on Africa Today. Back to Lubem for the rest of the news. I am Richard Badum.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now to the rest of the news. Kenyan President William Ruto's second-born daughter, Charlene, has defended her remarks on the existence of an office for the first daughter. Kenya law does not recognize the office of a first daughter. In a statement, Charlene Ruto said the office is not a government department but a private entity. The statement further said it is neither a constitutional office nor being funded by Kenyan taxpayers, as the office runs to purely facilitate the activities of and any programs being run by Charlene Ruto. Her statement follows criticisms over what some saw as a misuse of taxpayers' money. Charlene has been regularly meeting leaders across the country and attending international forum meeting foreign dignitaries since her father became president. And that's Africa Today, but before we go, here are the top stories once again. Earlier we told you reps hail Department of State Services in combating crime. We also told you Ghana's president urges Africa to stop begging. We also told you many dead as floods hit DR Congo's capital, Kinshasa. On sports, CAF introduced VAR to under-17, under-20, under-23 inter-club competitions. Remember to visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channel at Hughes TV. I am Aidnan Lubem. Thank you for watching.